Hello, this is Peter Cunningham of Serafim Limited. This is a short description of how Serafim Future uses projects and scenarios to generate multiple forecasts. Future operates in much the same way as the SPE, Petroleum Resource Management System. In the SPE system, the range of possibilities is split into two dimensions. The first one is project execution uncertainty. What might we do? And the second is outcome uncertainty, which in the SP system is typically described by as a low, medium, or high outcomes. And then a particular reserves number is such, or reserves category such as PDP, proved, developed, producing. It consists of those wells that are in the category developed producing, and it's using the proven or low profiles or forecasts for their outcome. And similarly, 2P reserves would consist of all wells and projects that were on production or approved for development and or justified for development, and it would use the mid profiles for this. So in this way, the SP system splits the range of possibilities into two dimensions. One dimension being project execution choices, and the second dimension being outcome uncertainty. Future implements a similar system, and it does that by using projects and scenarios. The first step is to define the scenarios that you want to use. In this particular case, we've got three scenarios defined: a low, a mid, and a high. But you can have as many scenarios as you like, and you can call them whatever you like. For each scenario, there's a separate set of properties for most things. Not absolutely everything. Things like well names or node names don't change. So if we go to a typical well, we'll see that it's got three separate forecasts, and you can switch between them by clicking on selecting the scenario there, or indeed by clicking on the scenario button. So with our choice of scenarios, we can define any number of different sets of outcomes. And as I say, typically we use low, medium, and high. We then want to define our activities and classify them into projects. Activities, as far as future is concerned, are the drilling of new wells or the execution of planned changes. So the procedure for that is you first of all define your projects through add edit projects. Now the first time you see this, you will be prompted as to whether you want to use predefined categories such as the SPE system. Now the simplest way of executing it is to use a single layer of structure. You've just got projects, and then when it comes to your forecasts, you're simply asked, for a particular forecast, do you want that project in or not? But you can also use project groups. If the selection of if there are, let's say, 5 projects that are always lumped together, either you always include them in a particular forecast or you include none of them, then you can use the project groups option, and you can add a group, and then you can assign your projects to that group. Either way, the choices of the project structuring that you have will be reflected, will be shown when you come to the next step, which is having defined your projects and scenarios to define your forecasts. Here we've got 6 forecasts defined. So we've got low, medium and high base forecasts, where it's basically just the developed wells, and then we've got low, medium and high with further activities defined. And so for adding a new forecast is simply a matter of add new forecast. Now we could move the item down to make it nice and neat, and we could call this so here we would choose what outcome uncertainty we want, the mid ones, and then we would have the block 5 developed and the block 5 extension, but we won't have the reroute. So we'll have this as a separate profile. Within our list of forecasts, incidentally, we can choose to maybe to save time as we're going through the QC process to disable certain forecasts, and then those ones will not be calculated. We can also choose to ignore normal node constraints if we want an unconstrained forecast, and it's possible to for incremental profiles to specify. Here there's an option as to whether you want incremental profiles to be reported under the physical wells that they're assigned to, or whether you want it stripped out and reported under the original incremental well. There's also another type of forecast available, which is a difference forecast, and that's simply one normal forecast minus another one. And when those forecasts, when you do then a file save with calculation, what you'll get is you will get profiles for all these forecasts. So here, a lot of curves, but if we restrict it to the oil, we can see here this is the difference between the mid and the high, and here are the high, and so on. Okay, well, that concludes my brief introduction to how you can use projects and scenarios to generate multiple forecasts from a single future model. Thank you.